It felt like it had had its entire soul ripped out. This town and this market does not feel enriched from its diversity. If anything, it feels quite the contrary. I feel devastated that it's my town, it's my hometown that has been the big letdown. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in Rotherham, good old Rotherham. Some of you might be letting out a bit of a groan right now, but you know what? Rotherham is so often ridiculed, and it's the butt of so many jokes about being, you know, a typical northern town. But this is where I grew up, even though I've not lived here for the past 27 years, there or thereabouts. Am I giving my age away a bit? I still got a huge soft spot for the place, and some of my happiest memories in and around this town. Does it deserve all the bad press that it gets? So I thought we'd have a look around and let you guys decide. I'm walking through Clifton Park at the minute. This is probably one of the most popular areas. It's just on the outskirts of the town centre, and do you know what? This is a cracking park. To be fair, this is probably one of the places that I do come more frequently. I bring the children here because there's a little mini theme park, there's a paddling pool, there's a museum, and there's just lots of green areas that dogs can run and kids can play games. It is a really, really lovely park. So, and by all accounts, they've just spent just short of £1 million on upgrading the little paddling pool area. So we'll have a look. My God, there is quite a queue. I don't even think the theme park has opened up just yet. I might have to come back and have a look at this in a minute. Just look at that, how lovely is that? So this is the, well, I was going to call it a paddling pool. It's not really a paddling pool, it's just more of a little water park. It's 11 a.m, they've just opened the gates and let all the crowds of kids come in. How lovely is that? I mean, this is free. They've got chairs out, they've got changing rooms. What more could you ask for on a sunny day in the middle of the school holidays? It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm very much multitasking today. I'm doing what us women do best. I've, obviously, because it is a school holidays, I've dropped my little boy off. He's at a sports camp today, which he absolutely loves. So that gives me a little bit of spare time to do some work. I've had to come and meet a client and pick up some documents this morning from them in Rotherham. So I thought, well, what a perfect opportunity to get a vlog in, which is ultimately why I've come here today. I know it's not the most glamorous of places. You're probably more used to me going to beautiful little market towns and hopefully some bigger cities in the future. And Rotherham doesn't really kind of come under those brackets, although it is still classed as a market town. Unfortunately, it's just gone into a bit of a demise, which is one of the reasons why I've not been for such a long time. It's got quite a bad reputation now at the town centre. And to be fair, is it just? I'm not entirely sure. So that's what I want to go and have a look about. I must admit, when I told my mum that I was coming here, she was a little bit, oh, you know, be careful. I'm not entirely sure that it's the safest place anymore, which is just devastating really, that we think that about our hometown when we just spent virtually every day of the week in this town centre, and it was always such a bustling place. But like a lot of other towns, it's really suffered from out of town shopping centres. As the Parkgate retail centre, which is probably only a mile out, I have to say is brilliant, and we do still go there quite regularly, even though it's a bit of a distance for us to travel. And there's also Meadowhall, which was probably another nail in the coffin for Rotherham town centre, but it's still got so much to offer on the outskirts, and this part really is a little gem. This is the Rotherham Cenotaph and the Remembrance Garden. been carefully attended to by the gardeners. Looks very nice. Looks like they've got some new benches as well. Sergeant Ian McKay. And there's another one here. This is a Royal Air Force, 100 years of service. There's no disputing that silhouette of the Vulcan bomber. One of the best memories I've got of when I used to fly. I used to do a lot of training around RAF Finningley, which is now Doncaster City Airport. Well, it's not because it's closed, although they're trying to reopen it. Fingers crossed that, that comes to fruition. But I used to do a lot of training around there, and one of the Vulcan bombers, one of the last remaining Vulcan bombers, was based at Doncaster. And one day when I was out doing some manoeuvres, I was flying a beam, the Vulcan bomber. Not for long, I can guarantee, because it certainly didn't take long to pass me. But just being in such close proximity in the air at the same time as such an iconic aircraft was really incredible. Something I'll never ever forget. Now this is, it's a rock garden. There's a plaque over there, which is very, very pretty. Unfortunately, we've got a hosepipe ban, haven't we? So we're not getting to see this. It just made me realise, actually, that's why the fountain's not on in the memorial garden. Mind you, that'd be recycled water, wouldn't it? So it shouldn't really make a difference if we've got a hosepipe ban, surely. But yeah, I wonder if that's why they've not got it running here, because the water trickles down these rocks and it's really, really pretty. It's got a bit of an oriental feel to it. Oh, it's such a shame you can't see it in its full glory. Gosh, it is so dry. Yeah, so the fountain usually starts up there. Lottie, you don't want to go in there, darling. It's pretty grim. And it cascades all the way down to the bottom. Doesn't look quite as nice without the water running. This park has got quite a lot of history. There's a museum which I'll take you in. I'll not do a full museum tour because it's not the most enthralling, but it's there nonetheless. But yeah, my parents used to come here to see a lot of musical acts. I think my dad always said that he saw T-Rex, and I think it was like the Rolling Stones. I mean, how amazing would it have been to just come to like your local park to see fantastic artists? I think there was a concert quite recently. There's a local band called the Raytons. I am so out of touch with music. I'm a bit of a Simon and Garfunkel girl myself, so talk to me about modern bands, and yeah, sorry, I haven't got a clue. But they performed here recently too. I think there was about 20,000 people. Do you know what? I've just realised my multitasking is probably not going to work quite the way I thought it was, because I thought I'd bring the dog for a walk as well whilst I'm doing this vlog, and it just dawned on me that I can't take her in the museum. And there's also a little kitchen garden which is really nice, and I don't think I'm going to be able to take her in there either. So sorry folks, multitasking fail. Unfortunately, I was right. I can't take the dog in the museum. But yeah, like all of these great buildings, this is a lovely Georgian house, and it was originally a private residence. It was the Walker family who predominantly lived there. They were a family that were involved in steel and iron back in day. But yeah, it's now obviously a museum. They've got they've got quite a big collection of Rockingham pottery, which is really, really well known around these. Well, it's well known worldwide. Rockingham is one of the greatest potteries that there is. That was actually manufactured down the road at Swinton, which is where I originate from. And yeah, they've got quite a few pieces in there. They've also got Nelson the lion. They've got a stuffed lion in the hallway, and he was supposedly used as a model for the lions at Trafalgar Square, you know, that you see on the big statues. I think there's about 4 of them, isn't there? So yeah, good old Nelson in Clifton Park, he was the model. Well, these bowling greens have been left to rack and ruin. That's a shame. Look at that. That has really surprised me. I love this bit of Rotherham. There's just some little side streets down the side of the park, and yeah, the houses, the properties are really, really beautiful. There's some really gorgeous Georgian, Edwardian, Victorian properties. I've thrown everyone in there. I couldn't quite decipher which one's which, so I'll just throw them all in, shall I? I can always tell a Georgian house, but I struggle to differentiate between Victorian and Edwardian. But I shouldn't have said that. I might have come across as being really, knowledgeable. I'm not. Basketball court, one of these park gyms that I don't think I ever see anybody using other than kids. Speak of the devil. Rotherham's Roman ruins. Don't actually know where these are from. Let's have a look. I've played on these so many times as a child, and I never actually realised. Here we are, Templeborough Roman granary. The remains of a series of Roman forts were uncovered at Templeborough, Rotherham, during an archaeological excavation. There you go. In September every year here they hold the Rotherham show in Clifton Park, and it's kind of like a mini cheaper version of the Chatsworth show if you've ever been there, but it's really nice. It's free, I think. I'm pretty certain it's free, whereas Chatsworth, as we know, like to charge the earth. I've still got the face on with Chatsworth after the debacle that I had at the Christmas market, so I've not been back since, and I'm not intending on going back anytime soon. So maybe this year I will have to come to Rotherham show instead. We used to come every single year. They used to have parades through the towns, and the Lord Mayor's parade, and I remember standing outside my grandma's house on the gate because she was on one of the main roads that they drove past, and we used to stand there and wave us flags, and they don't seem to do things like that anymore, do they, these little parades? In fact, I remember, I'm going to embarrass my brother here if you watch his channel By the Curb. So my brother in his teens fancied himself as a bit of a rapper and a bit of a street artist, and they had a float in one of the local parades. I think it was Swinton parade or something, and it was him and a few of his pals, and they were on the back of this lorry, and they were just doing some graffiti designs, and they won the trophy for the best float. They were awarded that by oh god, what was he called, the Rotherham, oh, I've got a ladybird on my here, see him, oh yeah, oh, off he goes. They were awarded the trophy by Peter Elliott, that was it. He was an Olympian. But yes, that was my brother's claim to fame. Mind you, I can't say it's his claim to fame because he's Mr. Big YouTuber now, isn't he? I'm going to take you into the little funfair for a look round. It's really lovely, very reasonably priced. You buy a little card and you top it up whenever you're going. I think the rides are only about £1 a go. Right, so where am I? Just let me get my bearings. I need to be down here. We're going to get back to the car, then we're going to head into town. If I'm perfectly honest, this is probably going to be the bit that I am dreading. Is dreading the right word? I'm not looking forward to it because I've just got this feeling that my memories are going to be quashed by what the town has become. I had a very, very fleeting visit last year, and yeah, what I saw wasn't good, but I'm going to give it another chance, and we'll go and have a look today. I need a drink. It's a bit hot. I'm thirsty. Well, would you look at that? Free Saturday parking, that's a rarity, isn't it? I've just paid £1.50 for 2 hours. The first hour was free. So all in all, that's pretty central, the car park that I've gone in. So that's a good start, isn't it? Although I have to say, is there enough here to make people want to come in the first place? So this is a new development that I'm just walking into now. I've not been before, but there's a travel lodge, looks to be restaurants and a new cinema. So there's quite a few new units down here. This one's looks like it's already been taken up. Coming soon, Heavenly Desserts. And there is Signature Dish, Steak and Seafood, and this Vetro Lounge just there. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. But what we're going to do is head over into the main part of the town centre and have a look. You can just see in front of us now the beautiful Rotherham Minster. It's a really, really stunning church. I've been to quite a few weddings here, and I've been bridesmaid here a lot. Always the bridesmaid, never the bridemaid. It's like that film, what is it, 1323 Dresses or something. Yeah, I'm clocking them up myself.
Still I made it work with my allegiance. Pledge my fallen souls, I had to grieve them. And when I'm at my lowest, it's when I need them. But I don't trip too much, I know they looking down, so I be looking up. You either swim or drown, I'm down with all the bullshit. I'm built to be a tank, I take shots like a...
This is a bit weird for me. I've walked up from where I parked my car, and I have to say it's really brought a big smile to my face because the town actually feels really bustling. They're putting loads on for kids and stuff. They're clearly making a lot of effort for the school holidays, and the town's actually got a bustling vibe, and it just felt so nice because it's so far removed from what I experienced when I nipped into town quickly with my mum last year. But I've come up now, I've had to come inside because there's like a little act going on outside the church, and I'll get copyrighted for the music and stuff. But I've just come into what is known as the, oh, sorry, the dog's pulling me, what is known as the Imperial Buildings. You can see behind me, it's a little shopping arcade with, it's so beautiful, it is so beautiful. Now, as a family, we owned furniture. Well, we owned two of the shops in here, and we used to sell furniture, and it was a job. My brother and I used to work here. But the centre one, which is perhaps the main unit, was owned by my grandma, and it's just derelict. It's all derelict, and it's just heartbreaking. Sorry, I'm just trying to compose myself because I've just been blubbering like a baby, but the door's open. I'm going to go in and have a look. I can't even start to tell you how many hours I've sat in this shop. Oh, it's so beautiful. So all these shelves she had full all the way around with ornaments and things. And then this window here was her main jewellery shop, her main jewellery window. And she had a desk here, a big counter which she would sit behind on a Saturday when I wasn't at school and my mum and dad were coming to open up our furniture shop. I'd run in here to my grandma, and I'd just say, Grandma, can I set up the jewellery? And she would let me put me at the display in her window. And you know, when you're like 10, I was probably about the age of my son actually, about 8 or 10, but it was like Aladdin's cave and it was just amazing. And I tried to think what the window looked like. It must have looked like a right dog's dinner, but she still let me do it, bless her. And then later on in life, one of my first jobs, I was based in Rotherham town centre. I worked at the college, and on my lunch break I always used to come and sit with my grandma. Whenever I arrived, there was a milky coffee sat waiting for me, and she'd put me a nip of whiskey and I'd go back to work drunk. She'd be like, "It's good for you, Bex, it's good for you." But yeah, she was a very, very special lady, and seeing it like this, I think would break her heart. So that was our shop there, the Ministry. So lots of the units on the outside have been taken up, which is good to see, but they're slightly different to what they were when we were there. There was like a greengrocer's, a florist. Now they're just predominantly bars and cafes, which, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? Times change and stuff. So it looks like it's market day. Let's have a look what's on offer here. Fabric store.
Spider-Man broke and he immediately goes, "Let me move." Where are you going?
Alright, but if you can't find us, go home.
Over there, what is it? Which curry?
Alim, lentil.
Lentil.
I don't know what to say. I've been walking around silent for a bit. It's a real funny one because there's little nuggets of the town that feel really nice, and then there are areas which just feel, quite frankly, horrific. Where I used to work, in this very office here. Finding it difficult to find words. that was one of the buildings which I used to work in, Rotherham College of Arts and Technology, and yeah, it's just now a shell of a building. Beautiful Art Deco building. I understand old buildings kind of can cost a lot to upkeep and stuff, but the fact that it's just left to rack and ruin, you know, why can't councils tidy them up? It's just broken glass, and it's just an absolute eyesore. Just got back into the car and I need to digest what I've just seen. It's been a little bit of an eye-opener, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, for a town that has been just surrounded by controversy over, well, it's gone on forever, hasn't it, with the grooming gang situation in Rotherham. It's just in fact come back into the news over the last week. Turns out now that some police officers have been involved, which it just doesn't bear thinking about. It's just absolutely scandalous, isn't it? But nonetheless, for a town that's surrounded by all this controversy, it doesn't feel like it's making any steps forward. It just feels like a town shrouded in rubbish, quite honestly. They'd obviously made quite an effort with activities for school children, with it being the school holidays and stuff. And when I first walked through that, I actually thought, you know, this has got a really nice buzz about it. The town felt lovely round there. And, it always helps when the sun's shining, doesn't it? Let's be fair. But as soon as you moved away from that area and you kind of went back onto the high street, it just kind of, it just hit you with a sledgehammer straight back down to earth with a big bang. The high street was dead, really, really dead. And which is true of many towns these days. It's nothing unique to Rotherham, is it? But it was very, very quiet. And then obviously when I walked through the market, well, it just absolutely blew me away. Now, it's a funny one, this, because it's like, do I say things like this? Because I'm going to, but I know I'm going to get a slating for it. So I'm going to, a caveat here. I'm not racist. I am not a racist person. However, that was not a traditional British market town that I have been to today. It felt more akin to walking through a market in, say, Islamabad. Not that I've been to Islamabad, but, that's what I imagine it to be like. There was no British charm there at all. It felt like it had its entire soul ripped out. Now, people are going to say to me, because I've had a lot of comments like this. In fact, I had people calling me racist after my Leeds video, which I just don't understand, because I never even mentioned anything of the sort over there. So God knows what I'm going to get today. But yeah, people will say, you've got to move with the times. You're stuck in the past and all this. We are a multicultural society. And absolutely, things aren't going to be what they were 20, 30 years ago. Absolutely not. However, this town and this market does not feel enriched from its diversity. If anything, it feels quite the contrary. It feels very deprived. It feels, I can't find the words. It's just, I don't know, it's got no identity anymore. It's got no British identity, that's a fact. Now, I'm not against immigration. I'd be the biggest hypocrite alive if I said I was against immigration, having moved abroad myself. But I think the biggest issue that we have in society today is integration. We've got so many people coming into the UK and they're not choosing to integrate into our community and embrace our traditions. When I moved abroad, I wanted to soak up the local culture and enjoy it for what it was, whereas we just don't seem to have that here. People are just kind of coming and it feels like we're having other cultures forced on us. Instead of them running alongside and complementing each other, they're just being forced on us. And that was completely evident today in Rotherham Market. So please don't for 1 second think I'm a racist person. I really am not. But you can't just wipe out a country's traditions, and it genuinely feels like that's what's happened in Rotherham. It's just the soul. It's the soul of the town is gone. It is utterly gone. Anyway, on a brighter note, I woke up this morning to 12,000 subscribers. Thank you very, very much. However, probably after my comments that I've just made, it's going to go like back down to about 7 or 8 because everybody will say, oh, she's racist. I'm not following her anymore. But yes, I really, really appreciate all your support and thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, then why the hell not? Come on, press that button and yeah, sign up for notifications, please too. It doesn't cost you a penny. And if you're really, really lucky, I will take you some nicer places next time. I feel devastated that it's my town, it's my hometown that has been the big letdown. I've visited some gorgeous places and yeah, the one that I wanted to be nicer than any is the worst, unfortunately. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you. Oh, I'm away next week. I'm gallivanting off with Edward. We're leaving Dad at home. But Edward and I are going to the seaside with Uncle James and my niece. So hopefully I'll get a vlog to you from there. Have a lovely week, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.